Good morning, my friend. Dean here, of course. It is another day. That means it's another drive. Let's get into it today.
The Drive.
Good morning, my friend. How are you doing? It is Dean here, of course. Welcome to another day and, of course, another drive. On the way to Internet Profits HQ, it is cold and rainy here in the UK. Summer is on its way out. It's official. The change of season is upon us. Gonna have to start maybe wearing a jacket at some point. I think we've had a good year of hot weather here in the UK. We don't generally see it as nice as it's been in 2018. Now, of course, it is the anniversary of 9/11 today. And so I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to proclaim to know everything there is, and nor am I going to discuss any kind of conspiracy theories or anything crazy like that. But what I am going to mention is, I actually remember, and as I'm sure most people do, like exactly where I was at the time. Now, I was pretty young then. Gosh, how old would I have been? Maybe like 17 years old or something. I was actually working in the first place I worked full time when I left school, which was I was like a waiter in like a roadside restaurant, like a cafe type thing. And I remember one of my co-workers, my friend Mark, who I'm still friends with to this day. He was actually one of my best men at my wedding. I remember him coming to start his shift. I'd been working in the morning and he arrived early afternoon, and he said, there's been basically a terrorist attack on the Twin Towers. Now, at that age, like, I hadn't done any traveling at all. I think my whole life up until that point, I'd had maybe one vacation with my parents before they separated when I was a kid. That was it. I'd been abroad one time. And so I actually didn't even understand what it meant. Like, I didn't know what the Twin Towers were. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. I had zero idea, did not even comprehend what it meant or the magnitude of what had happened until later on that evening, when I did, finished work, got back to my mum's house, and then it all began to become very apparent what had actually happened, and I got to actually see it, and it was like, wow, like just earth-shaking. I still now, when I think about it, because obviously I don't know if it's the same way you are, if you're obviously watching this and you're international, but here in the UK, like every single year on the run up to this anniversary, they start showing all different kinds of shows, like TV shows and documentaries on television related to the incident, the 9/11 attacks. And still to this day, when you see things, like I still can't quite comprehend it, like the magnitude of what actually happened that day. And you see and you hear from different people, and I know that I'm actually now connected with people that were actually involved. I know, for example, Omar Martin, who was actually, I believe, a firefighter that day. And please excuse me if I have got that wrong, or if I am mistaken. But I'm pretty sure that that's true. And sorry, there's just a vehicle in front of me that I'm just waiting on. And there was, several people, that I've spoke with when I've been in the US that were directly, personally impacted that day. And yeah, today's just one of those days where, I personally just want to pay our respects and just send all our thoughts to those that were impacted, and I think that impact is felt far and wide, and it's still to this day, all these years on, still shocking. I don't think this country, let alone America, I don't think the UK has ever been the same since. I think there is a constant fight going on. And I think, you know, as I look at it, like, life as we know it really changed on that day. Like, I know, you know, obviously now I do a lot of traveling, and I know, you know, I can say over the last 15 years how much, you know, things that today probably we just take for granted as just normal life, but, you know, there's a lot of ways of operating now that people and fears people have, and concerns and things that have just changed. You know, and I think, let's just take a few weeks ago, I went to London with some friends, and we're going across where, like, London Bridge is, near where the Houses of Parliament are, and you've got Big Ben, and we're crossing the River Thames. And where the sidewalk, like the pavement, or the sidewalk as you would say in the US, there are now these huge metal structures that allow people to walk through. They've got gaps big enough for people to walk through, but it's blocking anything significant getting through, as in a vehicle, because that's like been something that we've had terror attacks with here in the UK, like people just driving, like terrorists just driving vehicles and ploughing down people, and I think, you know, there's all these things that perhaps, like, the future generations of our families will just, unfortunately, it'll just be normal life to them, quite probably, that's how things are. But I think for many of us today, like, you see and you witness these changes that have come about in the world, and sometimes you just wonder, like what is going on? It's insane. But anyway, bit of a different drive today, I know, but you know, today's one of those days that causes you to reflect, and I know, you know, I certainly, you know, have not been impacted in the way that others have, and so my thoughts are with those people, and, you know, today's just that day to pay those respects and to put those well thoughts out into the world. And so, yeah, that is today's drive. Thank you for listening, if you have, and yeah, I'll leave it there.